What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Randy. Of course, you are watching the 55 Garage, and today we will be taking the engine off of the stand so I can install the clutch and flywheel and prepare the motor to be put back into the car. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this video explaining what's about to happen. It's pretty straightforward. The engine work is done. I want to get it off of the engine stand and back onto the puller. I need to install a new clutch and a new flywheel, and then I will be ready to put the transmission back onto the engine and then get everything back into the car. So with all that said, I'm just going to get to it. Here we have my clutch. This is the Flyin Miata Stage 1 clutch. I got it when I got my turbo parts. As well, I picked up a lightweight aluminum flywheel from Fidanza. So this should help the engine rev a whole lot better than with the stock flywheel. Before I put this on, I do need to remove this green coating. As well, the Fidanza flywheel comes with the flywheel bolts because the stock Mazda ones will not work. So I'm going to clean this up and then I will start putting it on the engine. Alright, so I can see I got my flywheel clean. As well, I went ahead and added a new ACT pilot bearing. So this is all ready to go. So I can go ahead and install the flywheel, and then I'm going to go ahead and install the clutch while I'm at it. Alright, funny, I remember this shot when I took my flywheel off. Back in the engine, got our new rear main sealing already. I got the flywheel, got all the bolts and everything. So the next step is to install the flywheel, and these bolts will be torqued 75 to 95 foot-pounds. You will want to use some blue thread locker on this or some type of sealant. I've heard that if you use a thread sealer behind here, because this is a potential oil leak, that'll help that from happening. So I'm just going to use some blue thread locker and I'm going to put this on. So now I have them tightened down, and I went in an opposite sequence, so we're good there. But the next step is I have to torque this down, but as you saw, as I was tightening this down, the crank's going to want to spin. So I have to stop that from happening, and I think I got an idea. Yeah. So what I've done to keep this from moving is I put in one of the transmission bolts, and I put a pry bar in the tooth. What's going to happen is as I turn this, the bolt's going to keep the pry bar from moving, and it's going to hold it in place so I can torque this down. And the bolt torque on these is 71 to 75 foot-pounds. And now all of my bolts are torqued, and we can move on to installing the pressure plate. So now everything is torqued down. I went ahead and re-cleaned my flywheel with some brake cleaner. Next step is the clutch. So before you start, make sure you have one of these. And what it does is fits in like that, but it ensures that when you go to put your flywheel on, everything stays lined up so that when you go to slide your transmission in, everything slides in correctly. Because when you put the pressure plate on, the clutch can move, the clutch disc itself can move around. So you use this dummy pilot tool. First of all, make sure that it's going to go into your pilot bearing, which mine does, and then you're going to slide this in through the clutch and the pressure plate when you put this on to ensure that everything stays straight and lined up. And you're not going to want to remove this until you get your pressure plate completely torqued down, because if you remove it and that clutch disc moves, you're going to have a bad time trying to get your transmission input shaft to line up when you go to put this all back together. If you notice, you have these locator pins that will line up to spots on your pressure plate, and then when it goes all together, it should hopefully, don't want to jinx myself, hopefully go together easy. So that's on, and line it up like that. Now, if you're going to use a Fidanza flywheel like I am, you cannot reuse your stock pressure plate bolts. Thankfully, the Fidanza flywheel comes with new hardware for the pressure plate. This is what you want to use. The stock bolts don't have the same thread pitch. You will strip this out, especially because it's an aluminum flywheel. So now, when it comes time to torque down your pressure plate, you are not going to want to just go around in a circle. You want to spread that load evenly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use an equal opposite pattern. So in other words, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and torque this down. And next step is to go ahead and finish torquing these down to 14 to 19 foot-pounds. That's really because so everything is torqued down, and to give it one final check, I can easily put this tool in here with no issues. So now this is ready for transmission installation. So now that I have the flywheel and the clutch on the back of the engine, I must call this one a wrap for today. I still have a little bit of work to do. Mainly I need to finish cleaning up the transmission and getting that all sorted, and then I can attach that to the engine and then get my motor mounts and put those on, and I can go ahead and start dropping it into the frame. That'll probably be in the next video. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, like the videos, they really help me out. But other than that, I am going to cut this ending short because, you know, I got to get to doing that next bit of work. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself wherever you are, being safe, and I will see you guys on the next one.